Good morning, my faithful, loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Tuesday, March 2nd. The year is 2021. And does anybody find it strange, or is it just me? We had all this stuff that happened with the Republicans, with the insurrection on January the 6th. 5 people died at the Capitol. Donald Trump incited this insurrection. But the Republicans, they refuse. They're not going to give up on Donald Trump for some odd reason. The Republican Party, they're still standing by him. It's ridiculous. It's almost frightening that the Republicans Party has absolutely no issues with what took place on January 6th. A violent riot insurrection in an attempt to overthrow the newly elected president of the United States. That right there is very concerning to me. However, these Republicans are still standing by and supporting Donald Trump, the man who incited this insurrection. They're still standing by him. Someone who should have been arrested and charged with crimes against this country, because obviously what took place that day is just utterly ridiculous. But the Republican Party is still standing by it. That's very concerning and very indicative of the country that we live in. You know, and if you're not questioning what Donald Trump and company are doing, I mean, the Republicans particularly, if you're not questioning their actions and the damage that they have done to the United States, and the damage the Republican Party continues to do. I was hoping once Donald Trump was out of office, the Republicans were going and begin moving forward with a different agenda, but I think they're still going down that same path for some odd reason. They're still marching down that path. Dangerous path, I might add. And they keep, and it's just weird to me. I'm just sitting back and I'm watching this thinking that what is going on with these Republicans? They really don't see anything wrong with the actions of the president, of the ex-president Donald Trump, and what he did. And they continue to stand by him. I find it hard to believe that they would continue to stand by and support a man who clearly, I mean, I don't know. It just is bizarre to me that they would continue to stand by this man instead of dismissing him for the fraud that he is. And when you have so many of these Republicans still standing by him, still supporting him, still reaching out to his supporters, still reaching out to his base, something's not right. And maybe it's because as a black man living in America, and I've known this all my life, but sometimes it's hard to come to accept the truth of the country that we live in, and how these white racists were able to run up into the Capitol and destroy the place practically. And so far, they've only arrested maybe 275 or 300 people. That's it. Some of them are facing serious charges, but I'm very curious as to what of the people that have been arrested, what will become of this? How many of them will actually serve time in prison for what they did? All of them should serve time. And there were thousands of people there. Are they going to continue to hunt all these people down? It's just very concerning. So I guess we have to just see when the new United States Attorney General gets into office, how he proceeds forward with this. But it's very concerning that so many people would, so many Republicans who are in political office are still supporting Donald Trump and his actions. Very, very concerning. I'm using this ring light right now. I'm like, wow, I don't even know how people can sit under these ring lights because they're so harsh that it's almost blinding. It's like, okay, how do people sit on these things for long periods of time? It's giving me a headache. It's like, wow, I need to see if I can turn this thing down. Good Lord, this thing is, I need to turn it, do something here. What's this? Maybe that, yeah, better. My goodness, that thing was too bright. I said, wow, what was I thinking? I know it's a little bit darker now, but my eyes. I said, good Lord, that thing was blinding me. I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah, I have to make sure next time I do a video, I don't do it that bright. Well, I guess this is the real world that we living in the United States of America. I think we all woke up from our dream world. Those of you, my mother sometimes would make comments like, oh, not all white people are racist like that, Walter. I'd be looking at her like, okay, whatever. I do believe that the vast majority of whites in this country are extremely racist. Donald Trump was a little bit too verbal with his hate. And so many Americans stood behind him. And the hate that he spewed and the ignorance that came out of his mouth was just unbelievable. And so many white Americans all over this country, in practically every state, he had large supporters, especially in these southern states. Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, North and South Carolina, all areas where you just have to wonder why, how many supporters he had to support his hateful rhetoric. I mean, just a hate-filled individual. If you're black in America, you better look around and wake up. A lot of us are living in La La Land, waiting for Jesus to come save our asses. And now these white folks are pissed about having lost these 2 Georgia Senate seats to the Democrats. These racist white folks are trying to change all the laws to continue their reign of terror in this country. I hope black people get up off their ass and vote and continue to vote and stay involved. And don't listen to these naysayers within our black community. Our votes matter. And we can achieve a lot if we participate in the system. On a side note, I've noticed that a lot of my friends and a lot of blacks are warming up to getting the COVID-19 vaccine, which is excellent. I read a lot of crazy shit black people be posting about this vaccine. It's just very concerning to me. When you have a virus that's unfortunately harming a lot of black people, and there's all this ignorance out about the vaccine, and they don't want to take it, and it's just a bunch of ignorance. But I do know a large group of blacks are open-minded and are getting the vaccine. I'm one of them. I can't wait to get I just had my vaccination for shingles, and so I completed that up on the 1st of February. So now, sometime we're in March. I think I need to look. I need to look at the exact date I had that vaccine. The second shot for shingles, and the girl gave me a shot, said to wait 30 days. And I think I'm right at getting very close to being at the 30-day window. So I go get my COVID-19 vaccine because I want to go on vacation. I'm tired of sitting in Atlanta. I like to get on an airplane and fly someplace. So with that vaccination out of the way, it will open the door for me to travel and do things. So I'm looking forward to that. So I can get the hell away from America and these racist white folks. It's funny, I live over here in Grant Park. This is a mixed complex, but all my immediate neighbors are black. And I would say that they're very well-to-do, educated black people who live as my immediate neighbors. They all drive nice cars. We're all renting. But everyone that I've spoken to is renting is really by choice. The lady next door to me, she used to live in another state. She used to own a home. She has no desire to purchase one in this market. The people next door to me, they don't want to own a home. That lady on the end, she wants to buy a home later on next year when the market drops. She waiting for the coronavirus. They're articulate, educated, smart people. And the reason I'm bringing them up, I never see them. There's a row of townhouses here. And if I'm correct, they're all black people living in these townhouses, about 10 of them in a row. I've yet to see a white person pull up and walk into any of these people's houses. Not one. And I've lived in Atlanta for 30 years. Very few of my black friends and black neighbors and black people I know and black family members intermingle with whites. And same note, the building across from me, a lot of whites live in that building. And I can see their patios, I can see their porches, I can see them out this window, I can literally see them across the pool. I never see any of those white folks intermingling or have black people on their patios in their homes. Although we're neighbors, all living in the same community. There's a huge divide. A separation that in 2021 you would think didn't exist. But literally there's a divide here. Whites on one side, blacks on the other. They doing their thing, we doing our thing. No interaction. And there's a young couple of white folks. I say young, they may not necessarily be as young as I think they are. The one thing, because we're in the pandemic, everybody's working from home, so I'm the nosy neighbor, I'm the nosy one looking out the window, peeking out, see what everybody up to, what they doing over there, what's going on, what they doing, who's that, what's going on, who's that going over there, what kind of packages they get, they get a TV, oh, they got a new sofa. Yeah, I see it all right here from this window. I sit there with my coffee, I sit there watching. Yeah, that's right, I'll keep my eye on these motherfuckers. I'm watching the community, don't y'all worry, I see it all. I'm just nosy. But anyway, I noticed that they're on bikes, scooters, trendy white folk. I never seen nobody black over there. They have little cookouts on their patios, large group of people over there cooking out, hanging out by the pool. Never saw nobody black. Never. It was it's almost like an invisible wall that separates us between whites and blacks, and nobody's willing to enter that divide. To tear down that divide. I have literally no white friends, no white associates. I have clients who occasionally I deal with who are white. I've had a few, but I've never had a relationship or friendship or a close association with someone of a different race who came into my home, ate dinner with me, we laughed, we shopped together, went to movies, none of that. Not that I'm against it, it just has never materialized and happened. And for me to watch all these black folks on this side in the townhouse I live in, and see all these black people, educated, smart, intelligent, own business, all kinds of stuff. I've talked to them all. Most of these people, because it's Atlanta, everybody got their hustle. One lady, her boyfriend owns a rental car company or something. So it's a lot of stuff going on over here. That everybody's doing their own thing. There's no way you're gonna make it here in Atlanta to do your own thing. Now the white folks, they working from home, they working on their laptops, they're working for companies and stuff, getting a paycheck. The rest of these folks that's self-employed, except for the girl on the end, she thinks she works for one of these major companies, one of these computer companies or something. But she does a lot of traveling and all this other stuff. What I'm just trying to say is I find we live in this country that is extremely divided. And I don't think that divide is ever going to go away. And when I look at all those millions of people who voted for Donald Trump, these whites, who supported this nonsense, and I know there are a lot of whites who did not support Donald Trump, don't get me wrong here, but there was still a large group, about 50-50. It was right down the middle. And if black folks hadn't got off their ass and voted, I think Donald Trump would have been reelected. And white folks were really pushing for him. Half and half. I won't say everyone was on pushing was going, but however, it's very concerning when you have so many whites who agree with his rhetoric, agree with his thoughts, his principles, his values, which to me were disgusting. So to see a large group of whites and Republicans continue to support this man, I think this country we got a long way to go, y'all. race relationships. I mean, it's disheartening for me to be 51 years of age. I'll be 51 in a few weeks, and to live here, and it could be because I'm living in Georgia. I don't know what it is, but I just don't. I've never had any white friends or white associates. It's very odd to me. I mean, and very few of the people I know interact with white people like that. I mean, we know a few people that have relationships or friendships with some white people. I mean, yeah, and, you know, whites and blacks. But the vast majority, everybody, like I said, everybody's separated. Even within this complex that I live in now, literally we're just a few feet from each other, but we might as well be 100 miles away. I don't even know none of these people's names. The white folks, the black folks I know. We talk to each other going to the trash can, go to the mailbox, or my mail may end up at their wrong address. It's just weird how different things work. Well, I need to get out this computer and then make me some breakfast. It's going on 11:35. I'm going to do another video. A friend of mine passed away. I'm still trying to formalize an even thought process to deal with that subject matter. He was an ex-porn actor, and we became friends over the past decade. And he agreed with a lot of stuff that I posted on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. He even started his own little YouTube channel. He became really religious in the latter part of his life. He passed away yesterday or day before yesterday. A lot of health issues related to his life doing porn. So I want to discuss that because a lot of these guys just are not taking it very seriously. The health implications with doing porn, raw porn, and the sexually transmitted diseases that cause all kinds of. In fact, Kevin died from heart failure. As a direct result of him being HIV positive, it damaged his heart. He just lived a really hard life. He was in and out of hospital, ever since he was diagnosed with HIV. And there were other health issues on top of drinking and drugs and everything else. However, I'm going to talk about him in the video, so I don't want to go too much detail. I want to go into that, but I'm just trying to get the thoughts together in my mind about a lot of conversations I have with him and stuff to be met. But anyway, I just wanted to briefly talk about those Republicans. I'm sitting here watching this senators talking to the FBI director over the insurrection, and the stuff that these Republicans, they just disgust me. They disgust me. And it's very concerning in the world that we live in, the country that we live in. And I think all black people should be concerned. This is something that we just cannot ignore. We have to be able to look around us and realize what's happening in this country, and as things really have not changed as much as we like to change. And again, I know there are plenty of white folks who do not support Donald Trump or any of the shit that he believes in. I know that for a fact. But for such a large group of white people to continue to support him and agree with him, I just think it's concerning to me. It's very concerning, and it shouldn't be concerning to anybody, because Donald Trump, we're not done with him yet. You would think this would be over with after that Capitol riot and all insurrection. You think this has been over with? Okay, Donald Trump, you get no more. But he's still actively involved in the Republican Party. In fact, calling the shots, maybe. Well, maybe let's just give it some time and see what happens. But anyway, let me get out of here. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd. The year is 2021. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And I'll be back in a few hours to discuss with my friend Kevin Moss, who is known as Flex Dion. Pornography passed away. Well, something to do with you about that. All right, and I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.